Welcome back to the podcast. This is your host, Kamie Crawford, and today I have the liberty, the joy, the amazing opportunity to sit across from my DMV sister, Ashley Blaine, actress. You probably know her from Dear White People. She played Joelle, amazing character.
Thank you.
And now the host of her own podcast, Trials to Triumphs, and I am so happy for you.
Thank you, sister.
Okay, first of all, I need to give everybody context because my episode on your podcast hasn't come out yet.
No.
Not yet. But spoiler alert.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Kamie.
It's
like
so
literally
good.
all the notes were like, this is one of our favorites. This is amazing. It's just, we just have a synergy. It's fine.
No, we do. And the reason why we have a synergy is because you guys, we met 3 years ago, pre-pandemic. 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was pre-pandemic. Yeah.
Pre-pandemic. At an event, have not seen each other since until this moment right now in person.
No, Kamie.
We have not.
This is it. This is the in-person moment. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is it. It didn't even hit me that this is it.
This is it.
Wow.
The only other time that I saw your face
ridiculous
was when I did your podcast on Zoom. But we have been best friends in my head since 3 years ago.
But also how amazing that like how we've been interacting is on these amazing things that we've created since pre-pandemic. Like Relationshit and Trials to Triumphs were not even a thought, a thing. Like wow.
And look at us.
And look at us.
Look at us. Cheers.
By
the way, guys, we are drinking tea like two old ass grannies right now.
No, you're the old ass granny with Earl Grey.
What'd you get?
Lavender chamomile with with probiotics though. That's
not
the grandma
probiotics.
part.
We got to get our nutrients in where we can, you guys.
Yeah.
First of all, you said you wanted to give a disclaimer at the top of this because Ashley, what's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
What's your rising?
Sagittarius.
What's your moon?
Gemini.
Oh!
Plot twist.
Girl.
As much shit as I talk about Geminis, I am a Gemini moon. That secret's out, everybody. So now my Gemini friends are going to be like, what?
This just in. Breaking news.
Yes.
You are a double Sag Gemini.
Yeah. Yes.
Cetus Lupitus. That is very scary. But I don't know why I thought you had some water in there because you came in here in tears for good reason. And you want to tell the people why.
For those who happen to see me and are like, she looks a little disheveled, it's because...
By the way, she doesn't.
My eyes are red. My sinuses are clogged. It's because I just got some really great news about a friend of mine, my best friend, and it just took me out. Like, I cannot tell you, like, the joy I'm feeling. And it just was kind of all-encompassing because it's like she calls and tells me this great news, and it was something that we really prayed for and like really believed in for together. We literally said, it just has to be one of us. It just has to be one of us. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's you. I don't care if it's me, but it has to be one of us. And we did it. It just, for me, it's like the energy that we put out. It's like God showing us like it worked.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Yes.
And then just, so those emotions, and then being on my way here to be a part of your podcast, it just was like, God, like, thank you for putting these wonderful people in my orbit. And then it made me think about, I don't know if you saw, but Samuel Jackson, he was like in conversation with Viola Davis. And I literally, right before my friend called me, I had just reposted it onto my stories. But basically, he's like saying to Samuel Jackson and Viola Davis, two of the biggest actors
icons
ever. And he's like, Viola, did you ever have a moment in your career where, it just felt like, so he was describing how like he was working with Morgan Freeman at a time and Denzel Washington at a time and Alfre Woodard, and like the way he described it, he said they got plucked up. Like they were in the theater company and then one would get on a big show. And basically he would say, it's not my turn, but I'm in the right place.
Because the people around me
are
doing these things.
And you can't get discouraged. You have to be encouraged by, if you're seeing people around you be in great spaces and places, then you will be, or you are too.
Yes.
But don't be defeated, be inspired, be encouraged. And that moment was everything that when my friend called me with this news, that was exactly what it was. It's like, you're getting plucked up, so I'm getting plucked up too. Like, let's go.
Yes.
Like, it's go time. It's your turn. So that means it's my turn. It just took me out.
No, I love that.
And here we are with both. We have podcasts. It's our turn.
I know.
It just
and we were talking about, well, you guys will hear it eventually when the episode comes out, but we've talked about in the past how, you know, as Black women doing this at the same time and not feeling that like, well, I can't have Ashley on my podcast because she's another Black podcast. Like,
insane.
Fuck all that.
It's insane.
We've never been about that.
No.
That's just not what we're on. We're from the same place.
Yeah.
Coming up in LA, both in similar industries, pretty much it's entertainment is entertainment.
Yeah.
And doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But we both have our own voice and there's no competition. Like, I want you to succeed the same way that you want me to succeed. And the fact that we met 3 years ago and this is the first time we're seeing each other eye to eye and have been so supportive of each other the whole way, there is something to be said about that. It can be done.
1000%.
It can be done.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're listening, and about that,
Can't be. It's the chuckle for me. Oh my goodness.
If you are listening and really listening, what Ashley just said is so important about who you surround yourself with. So Ashley and I have the same trainer.
Yes.
Six Pack City, baby.
Which you recommended me to Six. I did like a post on my stories looking for a trainer in Los Angeles, and you were like maybe one of the first people and changed my life.
He changed mine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody needs to come.
Please.
Everybody, if you can ever come to Six, you have to come.
Oh, he's the best.
He's the best. But we were talking the other day about like who you surround yourself with and how it really becomes you. If you hang out with people who are uplifting you and, you know, succeeding and doing all the things that you want to be doing, you are in the right room because those people will help propel you forward. But if you're hanging out in rooms and spaces where people are tearing you down, they're not really doing shit, you're motivated, but they're not, that energy will eat away at everything that you're trying to accomplish.
Here's the thing, like, energy is everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yes.
And it is especially important as you go after important endeavors in your life. Mm-hmm. If you're not surrounded by the right energy, then it's like negative energy sometimes is impenetrable. Mm-hmm. You can't get through it. It's like trudging through a storm and you're like, when is this storm going to be over? Mm-hmm. But when you're surrounded by light and positivity and good vibes and goodness and kindness, then anything can happen for you.
Yes.
Possibilities are endless.
Both are highly contagious.
Oh,
negative energy and positive energy are both highly contagious.
And the older you get, the less I don't have time.
No, you don't. Not with that ring on your finger. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Listen.
She is a newlywed, and that ring is hefty.
Thank you, sister.
And gorgeous.
Daryl did a really good job.
He really hit it out the park. Did you tell him what you wanted?
I love him so much. Sorry, my allergies are also. I was just in Detroit, his hometown. I just got back from Detroit. Which, side note, I didn't know that pollen flew in the air and you can see it. Did you know that?
I don't know that I knew
So
that.
I'm there. I'm like, I'm realizing I'm a little stuffy, but I'm like, maybe I'm just, I'm fine. But then I see all these white specks in the air, and I'm like, what is that? And they casually are like, oh, it's just pollen. I'm like, wait a minute, you can see pollen? Mm-mm. So I've never been the same since I got back.
I thought pollen was the yellow stuff you see on the ground.
Maybe Detroit got some different pollen. I don't know. They got white stuff flying around in the air, and everybody's calling it pollen, and it nearly killed me. So that's why I sound nasally and I'm sniffling. So I apologize, everybody, if I sound crazy. But no, we would send like Instagram like pictures back before we were even, we were just like in a relationship, and we both knew that we both like round stones. But everything else, he really. Like, we didn't go like ring shopping together or something like that. Wow. No, but Daryl has like really impeccable style, and he's into jewelry. And
he is a fly guy.
He is.
He always is dressed down. Both of you.
Oh, thank you.
Photos, the engagement pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Girl, I'm like, damn, what the fuck am I going to come
I'm
up
like
with?
you. I don't play. Listen, if I'm doing a shoot,
yes,
I'm doing a shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'm doing the thing, I'm doing the thing.
Yes.
Like, I don't like half-ass the thing. So
Yes. There will be fashions. There will be glam.
We're giving looks, LEWKS. Like, we're giving. Yeah. Like,
from top to bottom.
Yeah. Like, I'm not, again,
Yes.
I don't have time to not give a look.
No.
So what's up?
No.
Exactly.
But you're right. Like, as you move on and move forward in your life, you do not have time for the hanger-ons and the drag backs and the added weight. Like, no.
Oh.
No.
Like,
especially when you've been through so much already.
Well, yeah, because it's also like the universe is like, well, ma'am, when are you gonna learn?
Oh, yeah.
I told you that this type of stuff, these types of people aren't for you. So how'd you find your way back in this situation?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes.
I need you to get out.
And it helps push you forward so much faster, because when I trimmed the fat in my life a lot last year, literally,
Oh, yeah.
physically, emotionally,
Yeah, you
people
did,
I was with,
Kamie.
actually had to cut some people off.
Yeah.
And I truly and honestly believe that the only reason why I have had the successes that I've had this year is because I made that decision last year.
Get into it, Kamie.
Okay?
You trying to get into it or what's up?
1,000%.
I mean,
Let's get in the weeds.
so I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. Did you feel that in the moment? Did you feel that like, okay. No. Okay, you didn't know.
No.
Okay.
I felt like my life is falling apart.
Got it.
I felt like everything that I knew is gone, and who am I? What am I doing? Somebody sent me to the hospital because I need to be in a straitjacket because I'm about to bang my head against a wall.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at the time.
Okay.
But once you get through that, it's like, it is literally like when the storm goes away and there's a rainbow and everything is still. Like that is the clarity that you come to. And then everything started happening in my vortex, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that I would have even been mentally prepared to take on these opportunities if I still had some of the things that I had before. That's why they say yesterday's price is not today's price.
It's really not, though.
And you need to hope and pray that you've done the work so that it's not a discounted price now than it was before.
Not about to discount me.
No.
I am not on the discount aisle at anybody's Walmart, okay?
There is no clearance over here. We are clearing only, okay? That's it. So, like, it makes so much sense. But I want to know from you, was there a moment in your career, because when did you start acting?
Oh, my gosh. My whole life, but professionally when I was 14.
Okay. And from 14 to now,
Yeah.
how or when or what was it that where you were ever in a moment where you were like, this is not going to happen for me?
Oh, man. I never had a moment where I thought this is not going to happen for me, if I'm completely honest.
Speak on it.
But I
always do.
I never had a moment when I've never wanted to completely throw in the towel. I will say that. But I have had moments of extreme fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
And confusion. And when I say fatigue, I just mean like, and this was really, honestly, I think it really hit me last year. So it was recent, but I think it was just fatigue as far as like, I've been doing this a really long time. And I'm someone who always gives 110%. And after a while, it just gets exhausting.
Yes.
And I knew that what that meant for me was that I had to figure out a way to fall in love with it again. It had in some ways become a bit of a job. And that's not what I went into doing this. I didn't go into it with that type of intention.
Yeah.
And then the confusion came just as far as like, I was actually just talking to my sister about this yesterday. Like, I had to realize about myself, I've always been this way. Like, I'm not a 1 + 1 = 2 type of girl. And I mean that in the sense of like, nothing in my life is ever linear.
Right.
It's never like, oh yeah, that happened and then that happened and then that happened. Of course,
Yes.
it makes sense. It's always like, there's a detour, there's a turn, there's a twist, there's a, there's, I don't know. And so, but when I realized that I actually was trying to put myself in a box. It wasn't even the industry. I was trying to give myself this traditional career path. And God was like, that's not what we're doing.
Yeah. He's like, come on over here.
Yeah, we doing something a little different. You trying to
over
put
here.
yourself in a box. I'm trying to put you in a hexagon.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's a little different.
Yes.
We got 5 sides now.
Yes.
So the confusion was really me just not making peace with who God created me to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but so I had to go through this, like, fighting the fatigue, fighting the confusion to really realize what I needed to do was just surrender.
Yes.
It's like, you know what?
Yes.
I actually don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So literally, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, please push my ass over to the passenger seat.
Yes.
And buckle me up.
Yeah.
Strap me down, actually, please. Duct tape me to the seat.
Lock me in the trunk.
And we in turbo mode. You know, we in sport mode.
Yes.
What's up? You know, like, that's what I had to do. But I never wanted to throw in the towel. I mean, and I think that's just because I've always been so clear that this is my purpose. So I've never felt like this isn't what I was supposed to do. But I have felt at times like I have to pivot.
Right. Like, am I doing this the right way?
And I think that part of my pivot in this season is doing my podcast.
Yes.
And it was
And you're
something that I
so
resisted.
Good at
Oh,
it.
thank you, Kamie.
You
Thank you.
truly are. Not just your voice, but like just the way that you communicate, the way that you interact. Like, it's not an interview. It truly is like a conversation and a deeper dive than other podcasts that I've been on.
Thank you. Thank
Like,
you so much.
You are meant to do this.
I appreciate that. And it's crazy because, you know, when the blessing came, and it was something that, I mean, I started working on my podcast, like creating it almost 4 years ago. So it wasn't like, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But once it came time to really, you know, deal's done, let's get down with the get down, my immediate feeling wasn't like, all right, off to work. It was like, what are people going to think because I'm not on it? Like, this announcement is not about me being on another show. I immediately got in my head about that. But what I'm realizing now is that this is that stepping stone to get me to wherever that next place is.
1,000%.
I have to go here first.
1,000%.
And if my purpose is to inspire, is to change the world in some way, leave an impact in some way, be thought-provoking, then I'm in the exact right place I'm supposed to be.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so it's actually one of the biggest wins of my career. And I'm just so grateful that I'm able to see it as such.
Yes. I think we talked about this last time we spoke on your podcast. The surrender is so important because when I started this podcast, I went into it the same way. I wasn't excited. I was scared out of my mind. I was like, who's going to listen to this shit?
Literally.
Who's gonna listen
listening?
To this? Who's listening? Who cares other than my family and my sisters? Who wants to hear me rant and rave about God knows what for 45 minutes with ads? I don't know. Like, but I was like, let's just try. Let's just try and see where it goes. And look where it's got me. I actually, this is top secret news I can't even share.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought you were going to share it.
No, I can't.
I got excited.
I know. Me too.
Jeez,
And
Kamie, why would you do that
I can
to
hear
us?
the voices in the back of my head, aka my agents being like, bitch.
Okay, give us like a coded version of what's going on.
A coded version is I just booked a huge job because of this podcast.
See, God, I'm having a day. I told your lovely assistant. I came in here and was like, I'm having a day. And I was like, and I looked at, I was like, it's only 2:00 and I'm having a day because that's exactly what I needed to hear. Kamie.
Do not cry, girl. We got the tissues, but please. I've already cried plenty for the both of us. But they were like, the work that you have done on this podcast made it so easy for us to sell and pitch you for this. And that's that.
Do these windows open? I need fresh
some
air.
air. I need
cannot. I need to just stick my head out of the window.
Girl, no, we gotta hotbox the Holy Spirit in this room.
Oh my gosh, Kamie. But that's the thing. That's what they talk about. You know, when hard work meets opportunity, it's easy.
Yes.
It's not all the hoops and the hurdles and the this and the that and the meetings, a cajillion meetings and Zooms. It's just, hey, Kamie, you're the person for this. Thank you for all of your wonderful amazingness.
Yes.
Do you want this job?
Yes. But it starts with the surrender. That is the beginning.
Ciao.
And that's where it starts, literally, because I almost didn't even move to Los Angeles. I almost quit trying to become a TV host. I didn't fully throw in the towel, but I thought about it plenty of times. And after a bottle of wine by myself, I definitely was like, this is not for me. I'm done. I started looking for 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah.
Didn't find nothing for myself. I was like, none of this speaks to me. Like, I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And my last ditch effort was moving here, and I almost canceled it like 3 times. I almost didn't sign the paperwork for my first apartment here. I almost didn't come here. I ended up booking Catfish the week that I finally booked the move to come here. And look how much has happened. And after that, I said, you know what, God? You got it. I was like, you're right.
But Kamie, even look at how much has happened since we met.
Yes. Yes.
Like just in the season of our friendship.
Yes.
Like multiple jobs, podcasts, breakups, marriages, new places, home, like all of the things.
New bodies.
6 done got us together. Our trainer done got us together.
Literally.
Like it's wild. And for me, it's just an example of like, look at what God can do.
Yes. Yeah.
Like you just have to, that's why I love retrospect. Retrospect, I think, is such a gift. It literally is a gift to be able to have the ability to look back at where you were and to acknowledge how far you've come. Like,
and to thank yourself for just giving into.
Oh my
And just like
goodness.
leaning into your actual purpose in life.
And it's crazy because if you think about it, like all the things you go through, like if you even look at it just like over the years, that means that you had to keep putting one foot in front of the other for 365 days.
Yes.
Like that is not easy.
No, it's not.
And we're all doing it.
Yeah.
Like that is so impressive. So
Yeah.
just everyone give yourselves a pat on the back and get a donut or something and treat yourself.
Especially in the age of social media where like you go on TikTok and everything is like how to maximize your life in 5 ways. And it's like start off every morning with a green juice. It's like, bitch, I don't even have the energy right now to pour a glass of milk.
No, I do not. Yeah.
I'm not
definitely
making-
not getting celery, cucumber, green apples, parsley, cilantro, all these things together in a juicer that I don't have. Like what?
Yes, 3 turtles. Like I'm not putting these things together out of my garden that I just so happen to have in the back of my house.
Nobody has this.
Nobody has this. Well, except for the people who do have it. And if you do, bravo.
Yeah.
But me, does not. I don't have any of that.
Nope.
And some days you're just trying to get by. But those days that you do, that is a triumph in itself.
Yes, it is.
Sometimes just getting out of the bed, making your bed in the morning, you did something.
You did it.
And it starts with the little things. It starts with the little things. Then you can work your way to the big things.
Yep.
But if there's something that you really, really want in this life, why would you just let that pass you by? Like, why would you not? Why not you? Every time I go into any kind of self-doubt mode, like starting this podcast, when I was like, who is going to listen to this?
Yeah. I had the same thought.
I was like, you know what? Somebody going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to, one person
Yeah.
is going to listen to it, and they might pass it on to their friend, and then
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
But like you have to have faith that there's going to be something there.
I'm so happy you had the faith because here we are.
I almost didn't. I didn't really have a choice. The contract was signed. The studio was booked.
That was the get you gotcha. They were like, well, girl, you got to come. So I don't know what to tell you.
You really don't have a choice. Okay, so we had some people, this is an advice podcast. So people are needing advice from you.
Yes. Okay, what's up?
All right, here we go. Here goes the first one. So we asked everyone, the prompt was, I'm having a hard time reaching my goals. So this person wrote in and said, I'm definitely having a hard time. I see so much for myself in the future, but sometimes it's like I don't even know how to start. From my love life to my career, I'm so ready and hungry for more. Where do I begin? Please help.
Ooh, I got you, girl. Okay, or is it not a girl? It
is.
It is, okay. You didn't say. Okay. The advice I would give is to first become very clear about what your passion is versus your purpose. It's something I talk a lot about. I go to a lot of colleges and talk to college kids about it because I think for me, figuring out the difference really changed my life. So to me, your passion is, or your passions are things that you really enjoy, right? Things that make you happy, things that make you smile, things that you're good at. You know, I'll give an example. I'm very passionate about cooking. I love to cook. I'm passionate about, like, I love to hike. These are things that really, really, really make me feel good. And I'm also passionate about, you know, inspiring people and igniting change. But your purpose to me is the reason you're here. I'm not here to be a chef. I'm not here to be a comedian, even though I'm really happy and I love to make people smile.
You're not here to be a hiker?
I'm not here to be a mountaineer. No, I am not. Ooh, I would not fare too well in that lane. That's for sure. You know, and so I realized, you know, oftentimes we're conflating the two.
Right.
We're going after things that we're just like passionate about. And then there's like some burnout associated because there's not enough, the stakes aren't high enough with the passion. When it's your purpose, when it's what your purpose to do, literally the reason why you were created and sent here, then the stakes are as high as they can be.
Yeah.
And even when you want it, so that's why, to go back, that's how I never threw in the towel, because I knew it was my purpose. It's why I'm here. How can I throwing in the towel would just mean that I just shouldn't be here anymore. And I don't want that for myself. So then I have to keep going because it's bigger than me. Your purpose also is associated typically with like being outside of yourself. It's not just insular. It's not just selfish. It's about a way that you can touch others. And it doesn't always have to be in like a big, big way, but it just is in a way that you know is bigger than you. And so that's what I would say is really, you know, do a list. Have a side of a piece of paper that says passions. Have a side of the paper that says purpose. And figure out the things in your life that you're drawn to, in which category they fit into. And once you figure out the things that are in your purpose category, and it could be things, it could be one thing, then go after that with everything you've got. Because the truth is, if you go after what you're purpose for, you can't fail, because it's why you're here. There's no failure associated with it. It's not to say there won't be bumps in the road, or it's not to say it will be easy, but you'll get there,
right?
Because it's why you're here.
Where were you when I was 25 drinking that bottle of wine on my couch trying to quit my purpose?
Where was I when I was 25 drinking the bottle? Where was I?
Retrospect.
Retrospect.
That's what? I think now that you have said that, when I was 25 and having my quarter century life crisis and trying to figure out what I knew from a very young age that my purpose was that I wanted to help people. Yes. That was what I felt my purpose was. When I was 16, 17, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. At the time, I thought it was me becoming a dermatologist. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to help people with their skin. I wanted to help people gain confidence. Like that was that was where I thought I was going to be. Yeah. And then it didn't end up like that because biology kicked my ass in college. Yeah. I was like, oh, no. Yep. Just kidding. Yeah. And so then I switched majors and ended up majoring in communications. And through that, I ended up figuring out that I liked television and that was where I probably should be. And it felt like a calling. But at the same time, I was like, when I turned 25, I was like, okay, this isn't working for me in my timeline that I want things to go down in. Yeah. So this can't be my purpose. But exactly. But I still want to help people. But I didn't realize that me helping people would be me being on Catfish, me having this podcast, me doing all the other things that I'm doing in my life, me advocacy. Like I didn't put that wasn't even in my brain to think about. Yeah. But if I would have just focused on, I'm going to help people, regardless of what that looks like. Yeah. At the end of this, it probably would have been a little bit more clear. I think I was there, and that's why I didn't completely give up. But there were times when I was like, what is my purpose? Like, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? And could I do that somewhere else? Yeah. But in reality, like, this was the vessel for that.
And the cool thing about that story, though, Kamie, is that whether you became a dermatologist or you're doing what you're doing now, you're still helping people. The difference is, though, you are also fulfilled doing this. If you were a dermatologist, you would have been helping people, but you wouldn't have been fulfilled. So it was like, that's cool,
Yeah.
my child. I can have you do that, but it's not quite good enough. I need there's other people. That's a space for somebody else to,
Yes.
to that those are shoes for somebody else to fill, not for you. But over here, you're able to help people and go home and smile and feel full and happy. And
Yeah.
that's what I want for this listener.
Yeah.
That's what I want for them.
I hope y'all are listening. Okay. I hope you have the volume all the way turned up, because that was a word. That was a word.
And I also just want to add this. The key to this, though, so you can have the columns figured out. You can be like, all right, I know what my purpose is. I know why I'm here. But once you know that, you have to really embrace the power of the pivot.
Yes.
Because now I do have to give you some credit, Kamie. That is what you were able to do.
I was
You
terrified then too.
Yeah, terrified, but you did it.
Yeah.
A lot of people just stay on the, just get a tutor and figure out how to get a better grade in biology and just say, this is what I decided I'm going to do, and I'm just going to keep going it. And then they wake up at 55 and they're like, but I never really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And every time I watch Kamie Crawford on TV, I keep thinking that's who I was supposed to be. Right? So you even, it doesn't have to be a huge pivot. It could be like your pinky toe moves.
Yeah.
But you have to allow yourself to move when the universe, when the energy, when the spirit says move.
Yes.
That is the key.
Yes. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. It could be anything. It could literally be anything.
Yeah.
Here goes the next one. All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hi, Kamie. I can't get enough of this podcast. You see, aren't you so glad I started the podcast?
Ditto. Me too, listener. Me too.
Thank God I started this podcast. Okay, I wanted to get some advice on the rut I'm in my career and moving back to home in New York City. I was traveling and living my best life before the pandemonium brought me back. In some ways, I see it as a blessing because I'm able to stay in one place and focus on my goals. And in other ways, I feel stuck because I live with my family and it's very dysfunctional and toxic. I want to get my own place, but the way the market is looking has hit me.
I just saw those apartment.
Listen.
Did you see that post today?
No.
About like the median apartment prices in like the country. It was insane. Like, it's
The
sad.
market is in hell.
Yeah, it's bad.
I have been condo searching
Yeah.
since Thanksgiving.
It's bad.
It's not the best.
It's not.
It's not the best. That's another story for
Yeah.
another day. Okay, so yes, sorry. The way the market is looking has me hitting pause on that. I used to have a clear vision on what I wanted to do, but being back home has really left me confused and stressed. My question is, how do I get out of this stagnant position and get back to loving and thriving in life?
Whew, man, that's a tough situation. And I get it. And a lot of people, even I've been in a situation like that at a time in my life. The advice I would give is seek therapy. Like, seek as many outlets as you can find.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's therapy, just finding activities that bring you joy. You know, because I understand that for now, the situation is kind of like, it just is what it is. 'Cause
Right.
maybe you just can't afford to get out. And I would never want someone to be in a position where then they make a hasty decision and then, you know, they can't afford it or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But so it's kind of like you have to deal with this as like a means to an end, right? So get into therapy. If you love the movies, take yourself to a matinee. Make sure you save up enough to get your favorite meal at least once a week. Like, do things that make you smile. If you like to roller skate, go roller skate in Central Park, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional about surrounding yourself with joy.
Yes.
Because if you're in an environment that's not giving it to you, the only way you're going to get is if you create it for yourself. And I understand it's not easy. There's going to be days, like we talked about, where the joy you found was making up your bed that day.
Yeah.
And that's going to have to be enough, and it's okay. But you have to be inspired enough and have enough of a fire under your ass to say, I'm going to choose and seek joy no matter my circumstance.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately therapy and having the right people around you, you know, I really hope that you have really great friends that you can seek solace with, that you can vent to, that you can ask for advice from, you know, like that is really important. If you don't have it now, start trying to find those people.
Yeah.
Because they're there.
Yeah. I totally agree with all of that, because you can only focus on what you can control.
Yeah.
So if you're putting too much energy into the environment, like you can't change the home environment,
Yeah.
but you can change everything around that.
Yeah.
And there are little things that you can do to try to because when you, like we talked about from the top of the episode, when you are in an environment where everything is like dragging you down and feels like, you know, you get sucked into that. So you have to find that gasp of air above you.
Yeah.
With something, with whatever it is. So agreed. Like, don't put yourself in a financial bind trying to move out and be in your own environment. But at the same time, anything that you can do outside of that environment to uplift yourself
really matters.
Really
it can go a long way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And therapy is always going to be
therapy.
my first recommendation.
Therapy's lit, everybody.
It is the
I really
best.
need everybody to know that. Like, the naysayers about therapy, like, they are just hating on therapy.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And themselves.
You have got to get into it.
Yes.
Please, Lord.
Get into it.
Yes.
It is the best thing I think that I did for myself last year. That was the first time I ever joined therapy.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And such a pivotal year for you.
Girl.
Girl.
And to think, this is what I'm telling you, like between therapy and working out with Six last year, it was almost like God was like, you need these things. And you don't know exactly why you need these things right now, but you will see. Because if I went into this year with what I had on my mind and on my shoulders last year, we would not be in Sports Illustrated. We would not be having this podcast.
Nope.
We would not be having any of the things that we have thriving the way
The
that we
secret
do
thing
now.
that's coming. Cannot wait to find out what the secret
thing.
is. Oh my gosh.
The big secret thing.
God, the secret thing.
Secret thing. I feel like those Instagram people when they're like, so I can't tell you what
Yeah.
it is yet, but we're working for a really long time. Those people are so fucking annoying, and I'm one of them. Girl. Okay. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I just
Kamie.
want to talk to you all the time.
Well, yeah, that's the goal.
I also would like for us to have that lunch/dinner.
It has to happen.
Drink /
But
breakfast
we
/ brunch.
we be in these friendly, sometimes friendly skies. 'Cause I know you just had a crazy experience. I saw. Okay, we don't have to get into it. I don't want to rehash it.
Please.
But we be in these skies.
Yes.
Like, but
Yeah.
I'm back. You're back. We need to get
We
it
have
together.
to. Well, no, you leave tomorrow. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
I do need to-
I can't deal with you. But it doesn't really matter because either way, we are rooting for each other through
Yes,
the
always.
airwaves, the web waves,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Please tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I don't tweet like that though. I just be looking at other people tweet.
I love Twitter.
I'm a retweeter. Retweet. Oh my gosh. I'm a
Yeah.
I can retweeter. That's what I do. But anyway, Ashley Blaine, Blaine, and Ashley spelled the regular way. Sorry to everybody that has the Leigh and all that, but
Or the Lee.
Oh, and the Leigh. Is there a ASHLI?
Yeah, there is.
There's one of those. Anywho, ASHLEY BLAINE. And then also my podcast, Trials to Triumphs Pod on Instagram.
And you guys, I want you to know that this podcast is not no itty bitty podcast, okay? This is on the O Network with Oprah. So
Yeah, Super Soul Sundays, like my big sis podcast. It's so crazy.
But it's
I can't
casual.
even. I can't.
casual, just Oprah.
I can't.
Just find her with Oprah. She'll be hanging out with Oprah. I love you.
Thank you, Kamie.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. Hit the end record button. I will keep talking to this girl for 5 million years. I'm Kamie Crawford, host of the Relationshit podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more videos, click below to subscribe and like this video for more Dear Media content. So shut up and listen.